Hello everyone, and welcome to another 3D Buzz training video. Zach will be continuing with our Light Creature vehicle for Unreal Tournament 3. This video perhaps getting near the end of the legs.
Hoping so. There's some things I want to do to the leg. You notice we had some detail that we lost earlier because we did rebuild this piece. So there's some attention I want to put in this direction real quick. I'm going to hit F3. What I'd like to do for starters, just kind of point you in the direction my brain's going, is to put a bevel around this edge. And I'm not sure how well that's going to work out for me. And here's why. Let's go ahead and just start grabbing some edges. We'll loop that. I'll grab this guy. We'll loop that too. And if we select this, you notice something. If you look really close, we've got this, it's a very, very thin edge, which you can just barely make out because we don't really have like a connection here across. There's a really, really skinny edge. I guess I could probably point it out to you if I did
you'll
this.
get these guys, yeah, crossing over.
Yeah, so the bevel is going to end up looking really weird. So what I'm going to do...
Just cut that around there?
Yeah, I'm just going to cut that around and turn that all into one big edge. So a couple of ways to go about that. The way I'm going to do it is we're going to grab you, and we're going to do connect. Now, how far down did that connect? I need to know. Way, way down here, which is no good for me. So let's... Ooh, look how nasty that is. All right.
Yeah, there you go. A little
constraining action. One of the many things that I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Yeah. It's how it goes.
We know.
Right? Yeah, that's how it goes. Now, granted, you've got that whole, what do they call it? The slide edge tool, I think. I think that's what they call it. 2 vertices selected. All right, we'll increase that that threshold. Come on! It says no? Alright, well, let's find out why. Oh. Okay. I don't see why I wouldn't want those to weld. I mean, they look like a perfect couple as far as I'm concerned. Huh, curious. I'm so tempted. Just reach over and hit the delete key and make that go away.
Just do it.
Yeah, but it's going to leave a hole because that'll be like a little funny triangular piece hole. I know what you're saying, but I won't say it here. Let's see. I don't understand. So let me try this. I'll try to force it in there. I want it to think my way. You go there. Now the two of you are connected by an edge. You have no excuse.
You are best friends.
Yeah, you have no excuse not to do exactly what I say, unless I was trying to weld as an edge, but I don't think I was. You go there. All right. Now it works. Now, maybe I was doing something silly a second ago, so let me get out of here. Let me just grab you, hit Z. Oh, it's so perfect. I love the really strong zoom vibe I'm getting. Let's see if I can make that work. No, it just doesn't want to work that way. That's okay. We'll force it. You go there, and then you go there. There we go. Okay. Much more fantastic than it was a second ago. Now, you could do the same thing. Nah, I don't think we need to. Now, does that have a perfectly vertical edge? I almost have to look at the side before I could know for sure. And the answer is not. So it doesn't. Because if it did, you could just symmetrize the whole thing, probably, and save yourself the trouble of having to do all that again. But I don't see it, so I'm not going to do it. Let's do the same thing. So how's your day been?
It's been a good day.
Yeah?
Yep, today
in that, like, end of Cloverfield kind of way? Because now every time anybody says, it's been a good day, or I've had a good day, I always think of the very last few seconds of Cloverfield.
I got you. Well, sort of like that. I mean, today we did roll out the... What? Do you ask?
Just think about that for a second. It's sort of like Cloverfield, except there wasn't a big monster that stomped through and ate everything.
Well, come on. The end of their good day did not consist of a monster. I mean,
I know.
Perhaps it was falling, into the ocean behind them at the time.
Possible.
And they didn't know that they had one of the worst days.
We still don't know what that
come.
was, by the way.
Yeah, it was just... somebody off-screen threw something and the director didn't recognize it, and now it's become, ooh...
Yeah, I know.
There's the alien ship or whatever.
I can't wait till I get the nasty emails. You shouldn't tell people about that on the video.
What? It wasn't a spoiler to me. I didn't even see the darn thing. Anyways, no, it's been a good day. We have officially launched the Unreal Tournament 3 old school level design contest. Very excited about that.
Yeah.
We've, in a very, very short of time, there's already over 20 entries.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah, and I mean a very short of time. Like, we went and watched Battlestar Galactica, came back, and hey, there's a whole lot of entries. So, that's cool. And I'm
Especially the Battlestar Galactica bit. That's the coolest part.
Yeah. Other than it being a little bit frustrating because, you know, they tried to lead us on as if we couldn't immediately see that. Well, I can't even say because that would be considered a spoiler.
Yeah, but that was frustrating.
So
and usually I'm really lenient as far as Battlestar Galactica goes. I'm one of those fanboys who's like, oh, it's Battlestar Galactica. They can do no wrong. But I was getting a little frustrated there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so...
But, you know... After the show, seeing the number of people that have already signed up, it's really good to see that people are starting to follow the rules in regards to how their thread needs to be created.
It was funny at first, though.
And
you got to admit.
I'm really hoping to see, you know, some good entries. I'm hoping to see a lot of good submissions in the forums themselves because that's where people can give some really good feedback. And that feedback can result in the critiques needed to turn your level into something awesome.
Absolutely.
So I see you got the chamfer in place.
Yeah, sort of.
Something going
unless
on there.
I blew one of them up. Or...
Not sure what you got going on there.
I don't know. I mean, I could just try moving some vertices around and see what happens. You okay over there?
Yeah, I just
snuck up on you.
Yeah, I never had a hiccup just jump out like that on a
kind of awesome and frightening.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to try to untangle these.
You untangle and I'll distract them. So juggling.
Absolutely, that's freaky. Okay. No, I'm still going to try to work with it. I'm not even going to
crossing going on.
Yeah, that's really all it can be.
Just kind of uncross these guys and
then I don't know what you are. Okay, you're connected.
Yeah, he's good.
He's just kind of a weird
needs to go
stray.
away. Yeah, he needs to be deleted.
Yeah,
and then rebuild a little action.
I kind of see what's going on here, sorta. Okay, let's see here. Maybe just pull this guy down here. That whole guy can go away. This guy can probably just go right over here, and then that. Yeah, all right. That I think is working.
You sure you want to do that one guy there?
Well, there's that one guy there means absolutely nothing now.
Well, I just thought I'd say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean, that's going to look a little strange, but it's tucked away in such a small area, I almost don't care. What in the daylight is that?
I have no idea.
I don't remember doing that.
I was going to ask you.
Oh, wait, you know what it is?
What is it?
That was a string, sorry, what am I thinking? A line. An editable spline. Thank you. String. And I must have kicked up the iterations on it. And so, like the interpolation on the spline, and then that's what it turned into.
I see.
That's all I can figure, because I don't remember actually doing that.
Okay.
But I can make those go away. That's no problem. Let me get back over here for a second. So I get out of do this. How bad is that? It's going to work from any reasonable distance. I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so let's see here. F3 and stuff. Let me make those funny edges right there go away, because for some reason that's really frightening me. This should be an editable poly piece by now.
Did you really want to leave that going as a triangle down to a point, then back up from a... It just looks funny.
Is it doing it on that side? Anyway, because there is a triangle there. This is not like a contiguous, like squared piece, because we extruded the whole thing out of a circle. So there was already a triangle there. It's just going to look a little funny as long as it tucks down into all that. I really don't care, but let's see here. F3. I can't make anything out of that. Did I just lose all of my buttons? Thank you. The function keys quit working for a second. I promise it wasn't user error. That looks like Tron. Anyways. Hang on, let me not get too distracted.
Yeah, I'm being quiet now.
Okay, let me do this. Let me grab... I gotta be really careful with my selection. If I hit you, can I get a ring? Yes, but I don't want these guys. How far around did you go? You got everything. Bummer.
Wow, it did.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, yeah, I could probably do some of this action if it'll... let me without going completely crazy. Alright, now if we loop those, we get all of that. Alright, I'm down with that. Let me
Wait a minute, is that a bunch of other selected stuff? Never mind.
Scare me for no reason. Be like, Shia LaBeouf. No. Alright. I don't know how to pronounce his name, by the way, so if I just botch that, I don't care. Oh, look at that. That's weird. So it really did grab a bunch of other stuff. I didn't see it at first.
So it wasn't crazy.
If you saw that, then you can see through geometry, which is pretty awesome.
Because I have eyes just like that.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, okay. I probably accidentally selected somebody I didn't mean to with this little thing, because I can't be trusted to use it on my own. Yeah, do you see all that? That's crazy. Alright, let's hit F3 and just kind of have a quick look. I don't see that I have anybody else selected. Of course, it's hard to tell when you're working at like 1024 resolution. Alright, let's try removing all that. And see, it doesn't look like it made anything explode, and that makes me happy. Yeah, see, we've got that triangle there because of the way those edges kind of worked. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to worry about it.
So that's a straight panel. Show me the other side that was messed up.
Uh-huh. They both have this little tiny triangle right there.
Okay.
Now, the only thing I can think to do, or the only like I would do, well, first we'd have to get one of these things the heck out of the way.
I mean, it's good. I mean,
I don't think it's going to matter.
I mean, in the
when
end,
it gets to the game, we're going to have to build a shell model around this anyway.
Right, I understand.
So I wouldn't stress too much about it. Okay, the next thing. We got that funny little square panel that goes over here on the front. Now, originally, when I was building that, it was just a box. I don't see why it has to be anything special now, so... create box. I'll just give it some sort of arbitrary size. Now, as far as pictures of this thing go, it's basically a little guy that kind of goes right here. You can just barely make him out because of all the grime and everything on this. By the way, this thing looks really cool when it's grimy. At least I think so. Pull down on the height just a little bit to be nitpicky. And... okay, for the record, when did Dixon, Tennessee turn into Chicago?
Yeah, you notice that we've had sirens every, 4 or 5 minutes?
Oh, man, and like last night, I got woke up like twice.
Really?
From fire engines.
You live over in the hood, so...
I guess. As insofar as Dixon, Tennessee can have a hood. Anyways, it's just like, I don't know what's up. It's like every few minutes there's something going on.
There have been for the last few minutes, that's for sure.
Alright, we've got rotation snapping on. Let's kill that. So, what do you think? How many people do you think we have left actually watching these?
Oh, we've got a few.
4?
We've got some, yeah, about that. We've got some dedicated people. Hopefully everybody's jamming on their levels now.
I hope so. I mean, if I had to come up with an excuse to make people quit watching me do this, which I'm not even going to go there. I don't know if I could watch these. I probably could.
Man, that's not conceited at all.
No,
I could probably watch my own stuff for a while.
No, I don't mean it like that, of course. Just like in general, a video like this. A video of this nature. But, see, I'd have to like have it on in the background and just kind of... I'd be racing whoever was talking. Gotcha. And go like, man, I model so much faster than this loser. What's going on? And I'm sure most of you do. So, let's see. I still got that funny paint select thing on. So, let's chamfer these just a little bit. And that'll work. Because it's just that little plate. Now, we got that hole that we did the Boolean on before. And I suppose we could just kind of do it again, you know. I'm a little nervous about it. Can you tell? Is that coming through?
It sounds that way.
I just don't want stuff to blow up anymore, you know. I've had my fill of that. But of course I am modeling, so... and I'm using a 3D application, so something's going to blow up sooner or later. Because that's how I roll. Alright. Let's see. Height segments, no. These things. 24, that should, at that size, that should hold off any major nickeling that we'd run into. We don't need a lot by way of radius or even depth, because I don't really need to stick this all the way through. Or at least I wouldn't think so. Now, I think we had determined that the thing is not like dead center. It's actually kind of inset. Mm-hmm. So we'll do that again. I have to sneeze. I hate it when that happens, man. I really do. I can't... oh, man. Terrible. Okay, so let's see. Compound objects, per billion, hit the start picking, click U. Fantastic. Alright, so now, get out of here. Convert this guy over to an editable poly. Hit 4, F2. There you go. That's the guys I want. Extrude. Local normal, kill that, pull those in just a little. Now, what's up with that, I ask you? Alright. Cancel that. Now, what's going on?
Have a few strays sitting out there.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. It's just frustrating. Let's see here. You, go away. You can probably get target welded. And nobody will really notice that slight change in direction right there. At least nobody that is gonna, you know, write me a nasty letter. Same thing with you. Same thing with you. Get out of there. You can go away. I think that's everyone. I don't see any remaining.
To the right.
To the right.
And 1, 2, 3.
There he is. Good eye. Okay, let's try that again. Yay! And that's fine, and then we'll shove that backwards just a little bit. And F3, no, F4. Yeah, there you go. I know my function keys, I really do. That funny little downward slant, I wouldn't worry about too much, and if we did want to worry about it,
could just slide it down.
Slide these guys down. Yeah, exactly. And just, and then nobody's really ever going to know, and those who do, more power to them. But I don't think anybody's going to stop playing Unreal and go, hey!
Yeah.
That'd be awesome if they did, though. I can't wait to receive that email. Okay. Bump. I think we're looking good. Now, what else was there to do? Let me dig through pictures. Oh, you can actually see it in this one. It's something I wanted to do, and I couldn't find a good picture of it. Now I've stumbled across one, but it's really, really skewed. There's the funny plate here that's got this weird half-circle moon-shaped cutaway and maybe a couple of holes or something. Let me see. Is there another picture that kind of says hi to it? Because I knew it was there somewhere. I just couldn't remember where. There it's been ripped off. They used it on a shot of the Death Star later on or something. What do you want to bet that's actually happened to?
Very well could have.
No, not much to make out of that. I love these old pictures. Like these things. Like from old stock footage and stuff. It's just great. Too dark to be useful. Though I do like this. Because, okay, this is the AT-AT walker that Luke blows up, right? Throws the grenade up into it. So is this one. Take a real close look at that piece. You got it in your head? Now look at it here. Totally different piece. But obviously we all know why that is. It's just when you really get into modeling, that's when you start noticing all this stuff. Let's see here. I'm about to just go ahead and say to heck with it and just make it up. Ah! There's something. Yeah, you can kind of make that out. So, a little plate, a little kind of sweeping up thing on the back. So, what I'm thinking, if we were, if I had to make that, I wouldn't mind getting a solid grasp. It looks like it sweeps toward, in this case, it's the back of the leg. Now, if you can always throw something at your monitor if you think I'm wrong here, but I think the legs are kind of like mirrors of each other in the forward axis. So that means I would think it would sweep forward from here. Of course, if I'm wrong, all I got to do is flip it, Let's just get it built anyway, and then I'll deal with its orientation in a moment. So let's go create. Let me go to splines, or shapes, excuse me. I just call them splines all the time. Let's go with a rectangle, and I'm just going to build something that kind of fits the whole plate size. Maybe something about there. Now, once we have that, let's slide it over here. Wrong guy. You. Come over here. All right, now we need to turn this into our little semicircular thing. So, let's see here. Come back over here. Let's convert this over to an editable spline so we can play with it. I'm going to grab this, and we'll pull it down. We could almost get the shape that we wanted right here. Almost. I almost wouldn't mind if it kind of flattened out up there before it swept down, so that wasn't like a true corner. So what I do, go to refine, and you just click on somebody like right in there, and then done. So now we get you, and start to pull you around. Thank you. I think that's working. We don't need to worry too much, I don't think, about these corners, because we're going to turn this into a beveled thing anyway. So I wouldn't worry about filleting all of that or anything like that. I would come up here to interpolation and kick that up a few times for any nickeling within that curve piece. That looks a little thin. That could all be in my head, though. You got all quiet again.
Oh,
do you realize you scare me when you do that? So it's actually kind of tall, it looks like, and it goes way up into there. There's also some sort of a cutaway in there. You see that? This is one of the only places we can actually get kind of a good shot of that. I don't know. I'm not going to stress about it.
I think a panel just fell out.
Nice. Okay, let's see here. Let's take this and slide it over. And let's see. If I get this segment, can we just slide that up? Ooh, sort of.
Yeah, you got to grab both those.
Yeah,
so.
get this little segment over here, and then that kind of works. And then you could maybe do something kind of like this, so that was just a little more of what it needs to be. I would probably take this guy and just set him straight over to a corner. Could level these two out from each other. This guy could also just be a corner. So since we made a rectangle, why he's not already is kind of beyond me. This one I would make a beige corner, but let me just see if I can get away with doing this. No, not really. Hello. Yeah, let's pull that in real small. This guy will make into a corner. Okay, I think that's going to work. Oh, well, a long time ago it would have. These days, not so much. Oh, he got turned into a corner too, and I didn't want him to. I gotcha. Alright, that's all I really wanted. Merry Christmas to me. Alright, so now I think we might end up having to flip this thing around for the front leg.
You also want to go ahead and make it a compound shape, add a circle in it?
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually forgot about all that. Yeah, put it right here in the middle of the leg. We can use this as kind of an indicator of where the thing's going to go, so let's not worry about a new shape. We'll do something that looks about centered. Was there anything else? There may be some little weird cutaway down here.
Is that a cutaway or something sticking out? I can't tell.
I can't tell either.
Shadowing.
I can't tell either. Can we see anything there? Not so much. That is a good shot, though. You know what that kind of makes me wish? That there was some really nice way that we could have the ground get picked up like that when it's walking. Oh, man. You just, like, stick a light in there. Not that light. That's all being shadowed by other parts. You know that just tore that thing up, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll just go with this, and if there's anything else, we'll just like stick a cube in there or something later on. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Again, I don't think people are going to quit playing the game and go, hey!
Right.
All right, so let's bevel and play with our settings real quick. Start outline should be nothing. Actually, this might be kind of what we need, just in the completely wrong direction. That's okay. We could rotate the thing around 180 degrees. I think it's supposed to anyway. Let me just go with that. Gotta go with your gut. So let's get rotate. What do we rotate around? Z? Make sure rotate angle snapping back on. Flip this thing around 180 degrees. Because I think that curve is kind of opposite that piece, that plate that connects to the transdrive.
Okay.
So that's got to be opened up.
Gotcha.
So that makes sense. So we rotate this thing around, plug it in there, and I think we're set. So we got a couple of pieces here that we can apply our little modeling material to. All right. And I think that's like the bulk of the leg.
Okay.
I think we're ready to kind of move on. Over on our image plane, you see these things. Funny little plates on the front and the back. Let's see if we can find a picture in Empire that sort of makes sense. There it is, right there on the back of the leg. It's on the front of the leg, on the rear legs.
Right.
There's a good. So there it is, something like that. So
Mud flaps.
Mud flaps, exactly. Got to have the mud flaps because when these things start to gallop, you know,
exactly.
They really kick that mud up there. Wow. So, you know, here, there's a funny little discrepancy in the image planes and what you see in the film. In the, you know, here, even though we don't have a whole lot of pixels to work with, you know, you get this idea that it's kind of curved. Like, that feels a little curved back there. This feels a little curved, a little bit of an angle up there. You know, very kind of flowing, kind of organic. When over here, it all looks very straight. Like, you know, some very straight piece of plastic. I don't really care which way we go, but I kind of like this better. I don't think it matters that much.
I don't think so either.
Now, on the image planes, there is this little extrusion thingy, which I guess holds the thing in place, so we can build that whichever way we go.
Sure.
Let's just build something that kind of represents the shape and not worry so much about it. So, let's see here. Now, here's the deal. This is just me. I play with splines very much the way I play with vectors in Illustrator, in that usually I'll just play, if I'm making something freeformed anyway, I'll just place some points.
Drop them down.
Yeah, and then edit them.
Sure.
It just makes more sense to me. Now, if you're different, and that's cool. All right, let's jump over here, grab vertices. And I'm thinking probably all of these could be Bezier handles. That is the most awesome shape ever. Okay. That's fine, though. I'll just start playing with it. Yeah, especially that vertex right there. That's the piece that really made it for me. But you see we can bring it under control really quick, which is all that really matters. So do you think people would get in trouble? Or do you think we'd get in trouble? I think people would get angry if you and I sat here and started discussing who we think the last Cylon is?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
All right.
Even though it would all be
I mean, it's just
theoretical,
our speculation, you know.
Right.
We should be able to make our own speculation, I think,
but we won't.
all right. It's just a thought, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull the weight on this guy down, and then we'll reconvert that guy over to a Bezier handle. I don't buy into what they tried to make us believe it was in the trailer for next week.
I got you.
I will say that, and that's no spoiler because you have to watch the show to understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little tall. We can pull that down. Okay, we're getting something much closer to what I think we've got going on kind of over here. There's a little more overall curvature to it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do that. I would probably do it by playing with these vertices. Here, let me shift break that. Oh. Yeah, something like that. And then we can grab this guy and do something similar. So you... Oh yeah, hold down shift. Yeah. That's kind of like what I was thinking. Now, this funny little piece over here, you know, you could build it after the fact, after you converted the thing to an editable poly if you wanted to. Let me see, though, about adding it in another way. Do we have any clearer pictures? Pardon me while I just take a quick scan through. Can we make out much there?
Wow, he's nice and straight looking there.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, he's very straight. I'd actually straighten it up a little after looking at that one. Straight there.
It's like you start to get the impression, though, that there's a lot of different models, and they didn't necessarily use the same design spec on each one. And back over here. Because, like this one, here, that's a close-up, of course, but that starts to give the impression that it curves out. That's the one that still looks kind of curved. That you can't tell. Yeah, we'll just straighten it out and go with it.
What's that one?
Hard to say. So few pixels.
That one made it look like the front's straight and the back was curved. Seriously.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah,
That one.
zoom in on that one. Yeah, that one.
That could be.
But however you want to do it.
I mean, I don't mind
You're
making
the
different
artist.
pieces. And if that was really the case, if that's the way we wanted to handle it, then what I would do is I would leave it nice and curved
I
like
wouldn't
this.
thicken them up too much.
I would
though.
grab this and kind of dupe it off to the side, and this would be the plate for the rear. But I mean, here they've got them both straight. Heck with it. You know, I'm not even going to fight it. We're just going to straighten them up and not think about it anymore. I know this is turning into like a soap opera.
Is it now?
All right, let's see.
That's awfully thick. I'd take that.
Well, I was gonna pull the back end around. I was trying to close it in a little bit.
Oh, I see.
Get it a little closer to the actual shape. And not so much trying to thicken it up as to kind of move the whole piece in and conform it to the inside here. And grab this guy and kind of pull him in. And the same thing here. Alright, I think we can just go with this. Okay, so if we wanted to make that little extrusion piece, which we can assume is kind of the same on the front and the back. Man, I love that funny little jump. Let's go ahead. We could refine here and here, and then just zoom in and refine very close. Grab the middle segment. Ah! Curse you! Backspace. Delete. Just go away. Segment. Grab you, and pull that out. And we could just round those out, of course, with some Bezier tangents if we just really wanted to. Come on. There you go.
Are they rounded out like that? I thought it kind of looked like that's what it plugged into the side.
I see, and I hear where you're coming from, and I can't think of the exact picture I saw that made me think it looked like this, but I did see one. That's not it. I'd point it out to you if I knew right where to jump and find it. That's like irrelevant. Though this does have a drawing that shows two different pieces back there, which is kind of interesting in its own way. Again, not that I think that matters too much for our purposes. No, not so much. And I have a hard time. I should even just delete these. I don't even know what I'm going to use those for, because I always just skip right over them. I think on this model, they completely omitted them.
Yeah, it looks that way.
They just let them go and said, we don't need them. Alright. And these, they're kind of been ripped off too. It's like they fell off over the years. That may be all the way through my collection. We can make them either way.
Alright.
Oh, here. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see here. Let's grab this guy. Let's just get the whole thing. Slide it over, and...
Presto, one giant mud flap.
Yep. Alright, and let's see. We need to push out on that height. Well, I guess not really, if that's the way we want to do this. We want to increase our... Was it our second height? No. Because we have another level here. Okay, yeah, I just need to think of the bevel in a different way. That's fine. Because we got to go start, end, and finish. So let's pull the height down really far. We'll kill out our outline here in what's going to be the middle. Just go to 0, thanks. And let's get really close here. Pull down the outline here. Take height number 2 and stretch it across. Is there a problem?
With?
Our height. Oh, I just couldn't see him from that angle. Clever. There we go. That's what I was doing. I always get those screwed up when I've got to, like, build the thing to where it bevels out, then goes over and bevels back down. I always flip them in my head for some reason. It never fails. Alright, now this guy just goes all the way across, and now the other one needs 0.25 and negative 0.2. So yeah, that was already all set up for me. So really it's all about the overall thickness, which is controlled right here in our height. We could say something about like that, and say that works. So I'll hit M, we'll drop our material on that. Now, depending on which pictures you're looking at of this thing, and I don't want to sit here and just spend the whole video just clicking through pictures, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. There are a few like little, here you go, like some shapes or something in here, I'm not going to worry about those.
Yeah.
Because those could be anything. Those could just be textured in later. I think that wraps up the bulk of what's going on with the leg, though.
All right, cool.
So the next piece I want to tackle is... I got to tell you guys, I'm doing something in this video set that is so very much unlike me as a modeler. And I even started to get back to my old habits up here with the leg. Because, I went from the knee to the shoulder and worked my way back down. But I'm trying to tackle this in a really direct, almost linear fashion. Where we just kind of build in one direction and work our way to the end. Usually when I'm modeling, I jump around a lot.
Sure.
And it seems a little scatterbrained, but I'm trying not to do that here so that you guys can just follow along in a very progressive fashion. So I'm going to fight the urge, and we're just going to build our way right into the transdrive. That's why I keep calling it. I think you said that, and I've been calling it that ever since.
That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a transdrive.
So we'll go with that, and I'm going to build this really cool-looking plate that connects these up. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with a circle. And let's see. I mean, I don't think it's going to be centered right on the leg, because you can almost kind of see it's set a little bit forward, a little offset. I'm just going to draw out a circle, and we'll worry about lining it up here in just a second. That's not really working. Of course, I don't know if they actually used like a circle to draw it in the image plane either. They could have built it in any way they wanted to. Go with some higher interpolation values. So let's say something, at least for starters, that's kind of like this. Now, as far as picture, this is actually not a bad picture. You can make out some of it. Now, later on, when the thing's exploding, that's an even better picture because the thing's cast in some pretty sharp light.
I'm looking at the back leg there, and it looks like the circular center of the shoulder or hip, whichever you want to call it, is somewhat centered up on the large circular area in the back of the plate, how it's rounded.
Yeah.
Where in the...
And it could be here, too.
And it is there, too, in my opinion. Yeah. Where that drawing is so far off. Yeah, exactly.
We just make it up.
Yeah, that's
why we're artists.
It just makes more sense in the practical design aspect.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Pivot to pivot, X, Y, Z. That's fine. We'll just stick it right there. Okay, so, but I do need something to kind of go off of as far as this next circle is concerned. So what I'm going to do is just shift drag this guy over here, and we're just going to kind of get him close. I'm going to guess he needs to be a little bit bigger. We'll go toward the outside pixels of the drawing. Always watch out for that sort of thing, too. If you're using an image plane that's got really thick pixels for your lines, because that can lead to some really severe discrepancies. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Now, let's see, what plane are we working on here? We're dead center inside the leg. Let me slide everything over this way, just so that I can rotate around it and things feel a little bit different when I need to do that. Let me grab one of these guys and convert it over to an editable spline. We'll go to attach, and we'll attach the other one. Now, we're going to get just a little bit on the fancy side, and we could probably... Hang on a sec. The pivot to this whole shape is right here at the shoulder, which is actually pretty beneficial for us because I can snap the thing right back where it was. For now, let's pull it out here into space where I can kind of work with it without being distracted. Let me jump inside and grab segments. I'm going to take this segment, this segment, this segment, and this segment, and we're going to nuke them. Now, let's go to Create Line. I'm going to scroll down and make sure that Endpoint Auto Welding is on. So we can click here. And I don't think it'll want me to weld those because of the direction the spline's going, which that's okay. It's kind of picky about that sort of thing. So let's go over here to vertices. Let's see, those are two, double check. Yeah, two vertices. You can kind of tell. Let's weld those. It doesn't want to weld, so we'll really weld them. Make sure that as long as they're within apparently 16 miles of each other, that they will weld. Okay. All right, so that should be everybody. Now what we need to do is just kind of make sure the thing still looks circular. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's go back here to object mode. There's no object mode in Max, really, is there? Let's go back over here. I'm going to center this thing back up. Now let's create another circle. And what I'm going to do is just kind of feel this out. Now you could make an exact shape for this, like if you were all into the math, and I think, what is that, technically calculus? But I'm not worried about that. The whole arcs and tangents and things, it doesn't interest me. So let's go back over here. Let me hit snap. What are we snapping to? I always have to double check. Pivots is really fine, but let me just go with it. So if we draw out a circle, let's go ahead and turn off snapping while I'm dragging here. That's fine. We'll just adjust the radius manually. What I want is a circle very much like this that lines up for most of the outer edge there.
Mm-hmm.
Now over here we want something very similar, so let me just get the move tool out and we'll drag this guy over, and that's fine, whatever you say. And I'm just going to tug down the radius and just get something again that pretty well lines up. And it probably just needs to go with the top and the bottom and not worry too much about the back of it, because I didn't make a recording of what the radius was, but that looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from here, we need to make this shape match the circle. So you can see we're cutting in right here. Things just look kind of nasty. So let's go back here to vertices. Let's grab U, and that's a Bezier handle, which is good for us. Let's pull it over here, and turn the whole thing into a Bezier because it's a Bezier corner. There we go. And that's okay. We can straighten that out to where it points out toward that guy.
A little bit more back into it, just to
probably a good idea to take a moment and aim this guy too, and then we'll jump back over here. So a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
And then we can hold down Shift and add some more weight to this guy, and then reconvert it to a Bezier to kind of straighten it back out, so that weight remains kind of separated. I wouldn't want to adjust this guy too much if we don't have to, because most of the change should be right in here, but if we need to. So you see we're kind of developing our own tangent that aims right back over here to this circle. That's pretty close. Of course, again, like so many things, it's one of those things where if it's off by a hairline, nobody's going to know. We're just getting something really, really close. And that looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's lined up. He needs to be a Bezier. Yeah, there we go. So that looks pretty good. And he looks pretty good already.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that does it. That it's just not quite what I want. Hang on just a minute. Make sure that's nice and clean.
Gotta take a little of the weight off.
Yeah. Again, it's just kind of a back and forth thing. Okay, I think we're close enough. If I'm having to zoom in that close, then I think we're pretty much where we need to be.
Okay.
Okay, so now we can we could delete those circles. I'm kind of loath to, because we've got
other cylindrical pieces.
Yeah, other pieces that could fit in there, and we could make the most of those circles here in just a minute. We don't have to, of course, but you know, just one of those things. So let's go ahead and let's bevel this thing out. Now, fortunately, because of our last bevel settings, whoa!
Wow.
That's the most awesome piece ever. I take back what I said about that last piece. This is the most awesome piece ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, fantastic work there, Zach. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're not looking at an editable poly. We just need to get all these guys lined up on the same plane. So let's see. Where can we snap them? We can snap them at anything we want, really. Do they all snap together? I don't remember if Max has that sort of power. Let me snap these guys over to grid points real quick and turn off snapping for a moment. And yeah, see, it tries to snap everybody all at once. That's okay too, though. There's another way to do this. I remember a long time ago, the first time I ever did this in Max, and I was really happy when I did too. Now we don't have that whole arrow key ability like we do in. Yeah, what I just did right there, don't do it. Yeah, creepy. So yeah, move tool. Thank you. Let's just zero all these out. I was trying. What I was doing there that blew everything up. If you guys are like, "Hey, what did he just do?" I have a habit because I've been working in Mayo. Whenever I have a curve, I always think I can pick walk up and down the vertices by using the arrow keys, and that's a big no. All right, so that's not all that's messed up here. We need to like planarize all these too. So let's click on our x-axis and pull that in. What do we have a top view? I guess it wouldn't matter if we did. Let's grab the front view here. Let me also try this. Just see if this will work. Turn off show end result. Just give me the spline itself. Give me the entire spline. I have no idea if this is going to do what I want it to, but I'm going to try anyway. Boop. Yay. Alright, just some quick scaling to flatten everything out. Okay. Fantastic. And it's already got some beveling. I think the overall height's a little thick, because I don't think this is a very big piece. Very thick piece, anyway. U, effect pivot only, center to object, switch off the whole effect pivot only thing. He kind of does some action like that. Now you can see the whole point of that cutaway, sort of. It's a little off here, but that's because we're no longer building the image plane, and we kind of made that piece up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll come back down here to the editable spline level, grab vertices, we can get all these guys. And
Wrong guy.
Is it?
That's your bottom plate. Or no, never mind.
No,
That's who you wanted to grab.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
It just took you a moment.
Yeah, for a second I thought you were still wanting to work with the other piece.
Right. No, we're just editing this guy real quick. And we'll pull this guy down. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll just go with it, though. We'll keep rolling. Alright, now there is a slot in this thing that we've omitted up to this point. But because we haven't converted this thing from a spline object, we can still make one. So let's jump over here to the side view. U. Now this is, of course, going to be a little bit on the fun side, I imagine, which is fine. But let's go ahead, let's go to whatever we want. Jump down here to this guy. We need to go to create line. Now this slot, didn't we see a picture of it over here? Is it straight or is it curved? Can you tell?
Man, I need to see a different picture.
And there it looks kind of straight.
Kind of straight there.
Here, I mean, maybe it's like her. No, I could be having technical difficulties. We could just call it straight. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell.
It is kind of tricky. All right, so from here it slants from downward. It's like a forward slash from here. So let's just make like a forward slash.
Okay.
Click and click. Great. Now come over here to splines. That would erg. That would be you. And let's see, do the whole outline thing. Hello? Oh, it only wanted to do that first one. Great. There we go. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's come back over here to splines, get out of all that mode. We'll center this guy up just a little bit better than he was.
Is it square-like or is it rounded?
It's rounded,
Okay.
but you got to start someplace. Because now we can, of course, grab... let's see, there's so many ways to do that, but let's sit here and grab the vertices, and we can do is it fillet?
Do you have all of them? Yeah.
I saw the yellow one and thought I did, but I don't. So let's do a quick fillet, and there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So nice and round. Okay, now if I had to wager, because of the way my luck and my day runs, he's probably not on the same plane as the rest of everybody else. And he is not, which is fine. What are we snapping to? We're still snapping to grid points. No, sir. Please, snap to vertices. Thank you. Let's start moving all of this, then hit S and just pop that guy right there. Yay! And now he comes complete with a little slot.
Cool.
All right. So how are we looking? It still looks a little thick to me, because I mean, right there you can get an idea of the thickness.
Mm-hmm.
And relative to the leg, it's actually a pretty thin thing.
Right.
I mean, not that I'd want to walk over and try to pick the thing up on my own.
Just thin it just a tad.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
All right, now let's turn off snapping before I have to start throwing things, and something like that. All right, cool. All right, hit M, apply. Cool, coming along. Now, let's grab you and pull down your radius a bit. And you, and pull down your radius just a bit. Now let's take a look at what's going on here. I don't think we have anything particularly fancy going on here where the leg actually attaches.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Over here we do.
Yeah, that guy's...
And that guy's got all sorts of cool stuff going on. So, let's see. How would I handle all this? Okay, first off, I think we've established we don't really need this guy.
Right.
We'll go ahead and delete him. He's gone. Goodbye. Now, this guy, he's kind of special. Let's convert him to an editable spline. And we'll jump in and grab the spline itself, get the scale tool, hold down shift, and we can scale out a little copy of it, and that's pretty cool. And I think from there, now bear with me, I'm just going to take a look at the different shapes we have. We have like a main ridge here, and that jumps onto another ridge, and those just kind of go in, and there's like, what, I'm guessing 4 little holes in there, and then a little piece in the middle. Now, when Luke's blowing it up, you see
a whole new...
it's something way different. I don't want to build that.
No.
That looks lame and not quite as fun. So, while we can't make much out here, I imagine that's just a little cylinder. It's got maybe a hole in the middle for oil to leak out of like it did in that close-up. So that's all I really want to build, is something kind of like that. Now, what I would do if it were me, and it is let's see, let's grab this particular spline right here. I'm going to dupe off 1 extra copy of it. And don't we have a detach somewhere around here? Way down here at the bottom. Detach as shape 2. That's fine. I want that to be a separate object. Now this guy, back to him. We could bevel this. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let me do that. We're going to bevel it. Boom. Now I'm sure we have a couple of changes to make because our bevel settings were so awesome a minute ago. I'll go away. And now, we could just plug that in, even though we've got that extra little bevel there on the inside. I mean, once we go in and actually create our game mesh and all that, that's going to be irrelevant. Or we could go in and change all of our bevel settings and clean that up. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm trying to get this done kind of quickly. Alright, so that takes care of that. Now, you're still a special case, and you still deserve a little bit of attention. I'm going to jump in here and grab splines, and let's scale all of this up. You still with me?
Yep.
You doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Alright, I'm going to hold down shift and drag out another copy of this guy that's going to get really small. Say something about like so. And looks pretty good. Now, next thing, view, pick. On this guy, use transform coordinate center. Rotate, set over to circle 06, transform coordinate center. Angle snapping is on, so shift rotate to 90 degrees, yes. Shift rotate again at 90 degrees, and one more time at 90 degrees. Not 95, but 90. Excellent. And that takes care of that. Now, we're almost finished. Let's come back out here to this guy yet again. And we'll shift drag out yet another copy. I guess we'll put down to right about there. And we'll detach that as yet another shape. This guy needs a bevel. Is this making sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so now we can pull down the height here. And we can... So it's like we're making this out of multiple parts.
Mm-hmm.
We'll fit that in, because it looks a little bit elevated. We'll put it in right there. Now we can jump back over to this guy, and again we can do another bevel. And then I'm going to do something a little fancy in a couple of different areas. Let's increase our height here to about there. We'll go ahead and slide this guy in. Now, you and you, both. Let's just convert you both to editable polys. And we'll pick on this little inside guy first. Let's frame up on him. Hit 4. I want you. We're going to inset. That's not bad, but we go a little bit more. And click OK. Let's inset again. That's a little much. So about there. Click OK. And we can... Are you selecting through? I guess you are, but it doesn't really matter. Pull that in. And then extrude. And that's fine. So now we can hit 5, grab that, jump down here to smoothing groups.
Also seems like that might be just a little big.
A little bit, like the hole?
No, just the whole nut coming out.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's see here, let's go down to 20 degrees and auto smooth that. And while we've got it selected,
I'm thinking the radius was fine. It's just extruding out too far.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like scaling back on X.
And it was
Or
like
just shoving it in, yeah.
shove it in a little further, something like so.
Yep, it's better.
All right, cool. And the other thing was we had that second ridge in here that we don't really have anymore, which is fine. But the way we're going to fix that, let's hit F3. No, F4. I'll get the two of those confused when I'm on video. I never do it alone, really, I promise. Let's hit ring. Let's hit connect. Let's grab you, and we'll ring again. Ring. Now hold on control, let's jump over to polygons, we'll extrude these. That's a little much. That's not bad. Click OK, hit 2, grab you, loop, and chamfer. And we'll pull down the amount. One more. And now we have 2 ridges.
Cool.
Lame. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What was it?
You gotta look right here. I didn't extrude by local normal. So I'm paying the price. Humiliation. Alright, let's try that again. Extrude by local normal this time. Fantastic work. Then click OK. Then.
Do you want it out that far?
Hey, well, it's gonna chamfer out, so it's gonna get a more of a bevel, but we can pull
Just
it
seemed
back
like that was.
Alright, it's all good.
Yeah,
Remember there? And there we go. And get you, and then loop, and chamfer. And hit OK. I think that does it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and throw that material on, and we're going to have to call it here in just a second.
Are we done already?
It's close to an hour.
Oh, man. I'd like to thank my best friend in the world, Caffeine. Yeah, I think we're coming along. So, I mean, the leg is essentially wrapped.
Yeah.
Got the leg done, and we're ready to start working on the transdrive.
Fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, that will conclude this video. Again, for those of you that are interested, we do have the UT3 Old School Level Design Contest now in full swing. Head on over to 3dbuzz.com. On the front page, you will see an image, basically a banner for the contest. Click on it. You'll find all the rules, all the awesome prizes, and how to get involved. Do it.
Do it. Yes, please do it. Even if you don't know anything about Unreal, there's no better time
Start
to learn.
learning. Yeah. And with that, that will conclude this video. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, everyone.